Well, hello, and welcome to RonnieandYasheka's datingdiscussions.com Man Talk Monday. This is going to be an interesting one, but then again, I think all of the discussions that we have on dating discussions are interesting. But this is somewhat unique in that this is a question that seems to be a hot topic, regardless of whether you're asking men or women. And the question is, should women compete for men? But before I start into what I wanted to share with you, let me just make this clear. You as a man or as a woman can date how you choose to date. And since this is a Man Talk Monday, it's fair to say that I'm talking to mainly men. Now, men usually overwhelmingly believe that a woman should compete for them. And they have their reasons. And if you don't think that they're long enough, ask a man that same question and he'll let you know why. But because I do know that there are women who do tune in to listen to it, I just want to speak to you both in a way. But this is going to lean towards the men more so because I really want the men to really grasp and know that if you are a man that feels that women should compete for you, then you also have to know that you have to be a man worth competing for. But here's the thing. You can go back as far as 40, 50 years. Men have always known that they have to compete for women. At least that's what, many of men are conditioned to believe. And I am of the space that anything worth having in your life is worth competing for. So if we know that in sports you compete to get on the team, you are now on the team, and then you compete against other teams for a given championship or finals or whatever it may be. You also have to compete scholastically, academically. If it's for valedictorian, or any form of a grade that you're looking to achieve, there's competition involved. In a career, you're competing against others for a given position, partner, maybe some sort of ownership in a given business. And also, if you're a business owner, you are competing against others for the businesses of the public. However, what tends to happen when it comes to each other, we put up a wall. Now, the reasons will vary, and more than likely it's because of they have competed in the past for the affections of a woman, and they were friend zoned or taken out of the competition, per se, altogether. And so it left a bad taste in their mouth. Now, men, regardless of what anyone tell you, we are, for the most part, used to rejection. That's just part of what it is when you're out there trying to meet and get to know a woman that you feel is someone you want to share some time with. Now, of course, you know that I'm speaking to intentional men, and these are men who are looking for a woman that they want to share the rest of their life with. But we can even say that if this is a space where, heck, you just want to compete for a woman because it's a quickie, summertime fling, vacation, staycation, whatever terms that people are using now, you're still competing in some form or fashion because women have other suitors that are pursuing them. But with that being said, is there a place where women have to compete for men? And, we can give ourselves any thoughts and imagine some form of imagination that we want. Look, ladies, for those of you tuning in, you do compete for a worthy, intentional man. Now, you may not call it competing. Some will call it interviewing. Some people hate that. However, you do have some form of a movement, or some women that will have you think that you have to do nothing but just be a woman, and that they will all flock to you. As if you've got the goods physically, mentally, whatever the attributes you feel that you have, you don't have to put any work or do a damn thing, and they will come flocking to you. And here's the truth: there will be some men who will do that. But you know what I found a lot? Usually those are the men the women don't want. And the man that they do want is a man that's not competing. Why? Because like you, he has many women competing for him. And so now you've both drawn your lines in the sand, waiting for each other to compete. And then you're both wasting your time. But listen, ladies, the truth is a man worth having that is really going to add value to your life, be a provider, protector, is someone that chances are you're going to have to compete against. And we're not talking about the well-known men that are celebrities and entertainers and that the upper echelons of what we call society. We're talking about a solid man of character, integrity, of financial means, a man who's healthy spiritually, mentally, emotionally, men that are quality men that you know that you are looking for, that because you've taken the time to do the work and have healed from whatever past challenges that you've had in your life, and you're ready to include a man in your life. That type of man you're worthy of having. Absolutely. No one will deny that. But make no mistake about it, ladies. Those men, whether you believe they're 10%, 2%, 50% of the men that are out there, do know that you're not the only women who see that. Now, does that mean competing means that you're fighting tooth and nail and you're getting into a girls' fight? That's not what I'm trying to say. And unfortunately, many women try to make that be the case, when that is not the case. When we're talking about competing, I'm not going to compete for no man because I've got 500 million men in my inbox and they're texting me and my dating apps are blowing up. And again, usually those are not the men that you're looking for ultimately. Now, does that mean quality men are not going to approach you? Of course. But make no mistake about it, you already know, and you don't need me to tell you, that you're probably not the only one he is looking to pursue, because he understands his worth. He knows that he has something of value to add to a quality woman, and he's not here to waste his time, just like you. So let the games begin. Now, some men see one woman and they hone in on that one woman to see if she's going to reciprocate once he's laid his cards on the table and what he's looking for and what he has to offer. Are you now going to let him know that he is worthy of, your affections? He wants to know you're going to be worthy of his. So yes, there is some form of competition, even if you choose not to call it competition or competing for a man. And let's face it, there is no perfect situation where the exact man that you're looking for, you're going to win out on. He may not, he may decide that you're not the one he's looking for. And that should be okay with you. And here's why that should be okay with you. Because he's not the only quality man. There are others out there. Now, the challenge women have is because they think that this is the soulmate and he is one and only. So if he says no, then all hell breaks loose and all is lost. No, that's not the case. That's just not the way it works. See, men know this. But men, again, and not wanting to waste their time, they are not going to sit here and deal with a woman who wants to play games, who's indecisive, who's in a space where she's kind of overly cautious, where she don't want to give too much or reveal too many of her cards too soon. And while he understands that based on some dating challenges you may have had in the past month, week, or years, He understands. He feels that he's not going to sit up here and wait forever and a day, forever meaning years or months, for you to decide what you want. Because there are other women competing for him. And see, that's not a bad thing. And ladies, dismiss yourself from other women and men who are telling you competing is a bad thing. Especially if you're competing in so many other areas of your life. Because we are talking about the rest of your life. So why is it so bad? Or you're thinking it's so bad that the thought of you competing or making yourself available and known to this man is a bad thing. Again, I can come up with some experiences personally and professionally as to why that is, but that's a whole nother podcast. And I intentionally made sure that I did this in the original podcast form because I don't want you to focus on me and how I'm looking, what I'm wearing, and things of this nature. I really need you to listen to my voice when I'm telling you a quality man is worth letting him know that you're interested in him. And you're not concerned about the other women because you can only control what you focus on. And what, you can only control, focus on what you can control. And what you can control is you and how you present yourself to this man. This could be in a bank line, waiting in line to get your daily coffee, or it could be a happy hour, some sort of event, comedy show. Now, many women and men call that flirting. Whatever skills and techniques that you use, then that's fine. But just accept the fact that there are other women looking for this man as well. And that doesn't mean just because he knows this, that he's sleeping with all these women, he's running through all these women. Again, we're talking about a man with intention. And so don't close yourself off to the possibility of meeting an incredible man for your life just because you're worried about other women telling you don't need to compete for that. You just need to just stand still and stop. Far too many women, and I know this to be the truth because I speak to far too many women in these situations. And if you listen to them long enough, this is what happens. So to the men, I'm telling you, if you're one of those men that is intentional, are intentional, and you know who you are, you've put in the work, you know overall your worth and what you're going to add to the right woman, then if she is making herself known, then also, of course, make it known that you're interested in her. And you're going to have the conversation. She's going to be out there dating other men or women. And you're going to be dating. Now, if you happen to be a person who is only dating one woman at a time or pursuing one woman at a time, that's fine too. Personally, anybody who knows me, that's my preferred choice of dating. And I've gone over that in past podcasts, and I'll go over it again in another part too that I've been asked to do. But just know that we are in a world of competition. Politicians compete, athletes compete, business people compete, corporations compete. This is what it is. Professors compete for the ears of their students. They want to make sure that you listen to the math professor just as much as you listen to the science professor. So we really have to not as much as unlearn, just relearn some things and really get back into the space of look. And we know this works because this is something that has happened throughout history. Now, of course, like I said, again, there are those people, men and women, who will have you believe that competing is some negative or coming across as being desperate. And I can tell you that's nothing but a bunch of BS. So look, should women compete for men? Absolutely. And men, absolutely use this to your advantage, but only in the space that you're doing it in a healthy way. Be honest and upfront. Don't sit up here and have women strung along. Let your intentions know. Let her know that you acknowledge her making herself available for you to court her, and then follow through. If she's not the one, then respectfully let her know that for some reason or other that you're not connecting with her. So this may be one of those short ones, but I just really wanted to share a few words to say, look, ladies, it's okay to compete. Men, of course, it's okay to compete, but make sure, men, again to the men, because this is Man Talk Mondays. Brothers, make sure that you are a man worth competing for. Make sure you're a man who've done the work on themselves. You've gotten yourself together financially, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, of course. Dating has its own set of challenges, and I find, and you'll hear me repeat this over and over, we make this far too harder than it has to be. There's enough challenges that you're going to have in the dating space. And then once you get into what you now are going to be in a committed relationship, there's a whole new set of challenges that are involved in that, because we know life isn't perfect. And so because life isn't perfect, you aren't perfect, then the process and the journeys that we have with each other from a paternal level, maternal level, and an intimate level is going to take some work. But first, let's do the work on ourselves. So again, should women compete for men? Absolutely. And if for some reason after this podcast, you still have some challenges mentally about this, then reach out. As a matter of fact, this is why I decided to put this particular podcast on the dating discussions, because you get to hear it from a man's perspective, and Yasheka Foster, who I share podcasts with, will also give you her insight. Now, mind you, her insight may be different than mine. So then I ask you to take both of our voices and both of what we have to share and really process it and see where you fit in that and how you feel as a woman. Is this something that you should do? Or as a man? Listen, I want you to win in this space, but there's work to be done, starting with you. And so, let me repeat again, men that are fortunate enough to have women competing for you, be healthy about it. Be honest about it. Let your character and integrity lead you in the space and the conversations that you're going to have with these women that are competing with you, for you, so that you can find the woman that you're looking to add value to, and a woman that's going to provide a value to you, so that you both can grow and play your positions together. This is important. Women, if you see him, be prepared that chances are you're going to have to compete for him, and that's okay. And let no one tell you different. However, again, this is just my thoughts. Date how you choose a date. But if the way you're doing it is not getting new results, then is it really that bad to try it this way? Just something to think about. My name is Ronnie Walker, Master Coach of Exceptional Dating, Relationships, and Sex. And this is the Ronnie and Yasheka datingdiscussions.com Man Talk Mondays. I want to take the time to thank you. Until again.